Yeah, I think that the thing that makes it grounded and accessible are the characters and the emotions of the characters. And although the world is hyper real and the action's hyper real and Tony's life is bigger than life. What's nice is you have actors, and we have had actors historically that are real actors who will ground the film and will find the reality of it. They're not playing it like it's a cartoon or a comic book. They're playing it real. And it's very hard to find people who can give it who will do the emotional homework on a character and make sure that it makes sense in a real world way. And the bigger you go with the story and with the action, always you always run a risk, and a lot falls on the performers and the director to find a way to keep it relevant to the audience and not just feel like you're watching fireworks going off. I love watching Gwyneth and Robert, and so much of my job on the first films was to create a sandbox for them to play in, to figure out what the dynamics of that relationship is, to capture how well they work together as actors and incorporate that into the characters and adjust what was in the books to them. And I just think there's a classic, fun, Tracy and Hepburn type thing that they're doing. And there's an affection, and there's also this, really sharp-tongued sparring that goes on between the two. But at the heart of it is always this, they both have a crush on each other, and now they're together, so that changes the dynamic somewhat. But it was definitely a lot to play with that tension for the first two movies, and I always felt that was the stuff that was the most captivating for me, and the stuff I understood the best. The character Sam, James Badgedale, he's a great actor, and a lot of fun to play opposite. But Happy's looking for something to go wrong. He's looking for some way to be relevant. He's very protective of Pepper. And so when this guy comes in, and he's already got a chip on his shoulder, Happy. He's already is paranoid and wants to make sure everything's safe around here, and he feels like everybody's playing it too fast and loose. And he's the guy who worries so that nobody else does. He's like the guard dog. And when this character, Savin, ends up playing into his worst fears and his concerns, and he seems to not be respectful of Pepper or the environment, I think he rubs the guy the wrong way. The challenge is always how to get Tony out of the suit, because you have Robert, and the big thing was, it was like more, to me, the first movie was more interesting when he wasn't in the suit. And that's, and if you give Robert the right stuff to do, he's going to be more exciting than any visual effect. And the proper balance is really where, because you want to see some of that stuff. You want to see Iron Man, but you want to see Tony Stark. And that was one of the advantages, I think, that we've had over other superhero franchises. It's not like you're not just waiting for the superhero to do his thing. You're actually concerned about how it gets there. And Tony's world is really exciting, above and beyond the suit, even before he ever invented the suit. I think now seeing Robert, who knows the character really well, come back and reprise his role as Tony. And now Don Cheadle's been established as Rhodey, and they have a dynamic together, and of course Gwyneth and he have a dynamic. And even myself. So it's nice that it's like having the family come back together again. And I think people like to have their expectations fulfilled, and also sometimes have their expectations challenged. And you try to surprise them, but also give them what they want. And that's the fun dialogue and conversation that you have as people who are making a movie with your audience. And we definitely appreciate our audience, and we're aware of them.